All right, and we're back. I hope it's not too bad for everyone. Oh, Lord. What's going on with my Twitch phase now? All right. All right, are we back? Beautiful. I hope so. 3 streams today, aren't we spoiled? I know, right? Oh, you guys are so lucky. Yeah, Clay Golem, I'm not sure what was all said about it. Um, but Clay Golem, I'm okay with. It's nothing too fancy. You're gonna only play it in a more location heavy deck. But the fact that it is 2 damage and 2 healing, both those numbers can be increased. So that in itself, and it's an elemental. We've been seeing a lot of things going off of, especially that Flame Chain Elder. I believe is the buff. If you played an elemental, the rest of your cards get increased damage. Like Clay Golem is the first one you do. Boom, everything looks really good. Uh, Clay Golem. I do think there's a few cards in here art wise that are not up to snuff with what we've been seeing before. Um, he looks like Clayface from Batman immediately. I think even before someone posted that in Discord, that was what I thought about this. Um, Taking Chronobot. Yeah. But yeah, Clay Golem, it's okay. It it's a card that's going to go well in location style decks, which once again, as we've been talking, I don't know how well they're going to be viable with how much location hate tech has. Um, yeah, the art it feels really flat. It feels really cartoony, and not in the art style that we've been expecting from the artists of Play Fusion before. But yeah, no, this card being revealed with Fragile Hut is probably the reason they did that because it rotates one of your location buffs one step forward, so you can get that three card draw. OFC, I am an art major. Okay, I am a major with an art degree. I will be an art snob. I will be an art snob as much as I can. It's the only place I can talk about my degree. But yeah, I mean it feels really flat to me. There's no depth to the card. Um, it just looks really one dimensional and very cartoony based on a lot of the other cards that we've gotten in the past. Like look at this card. Look at how much detail is in the glass, how much reflective light, how three dimensional this art looks. You actually have a background. This art is awesome. This art is awesome. This art, there's almost no background. Everything is in the foreground. Everything is almost the same color. His teeth are almost the same shade of yellow that some of the slime is. I will go full art on you guys and be like, no, this is not my favorite art. This is, but I think Clay Golem will find its place in a location style deck, but with how much hate location has been getting, I don't know how well those types of decks are going to do. But I do like the fact that he is, like I said, 2 damage, 2 healing. Both those can be increased. You might just run him for that. These can be increased off of it. You might just do that. Function over looks. Yeah. Just don't look at the art. Look at the text and just ignore the art. For context on Moore's, scroll down for the 3 air combo. When you play an air card, you may rotate one of your undead buffs one step forward. I'm okay with this. Shadow really didn't have that many undead cards. It was mostly in death and poison that we saw those. Shadow was mostly the elementals with the abyss package. So there is going to be enough undead within these two to do it. And air cards, there is just a lot of really good air cards that help you not only rotate things, but just manipulate the board. So I think this is actually a really fun uh, alignment pool to play with, and the ability looks really cool too. Imagine if it was elemental instead. Yeah, Pestilent Spectre would be really fun with this card. But there's a lot of other fun things you can do. Um, is Monstrosity Shadow? Yeah, no. I think Monstrosity is poison. I want to say that Monstrosity was poison. If we go back up here, yeah, Stitchworks Monstrosity is poison. So being able to do that. But yeah, I like this card. I think it's going to be really fun in the spike turns of how much you can rotate your undead buffs. That we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. Could try to get 5 undead in discard pile ASAP. With Windcaller Moors, you very well could. You very well could. And we find, I think the only other one was the, oh god, what was the other mythic hero that was Storm Poison? I cannot think of his name. He was the Mari riding the poison fish. Nemi. No, it wasn't Nemi. Was it Nemi? Yes, it was Nemi. I don't know his full name. But yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things for you to utilize off the undead buffs with this. The only thing I have to look on is what are the very heavy undead combo buffs for Dread? Were any of them Shadow? Shackles of Undeath has Shadow in it, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Soulstorm is very heavy in Shadow. Soul Whale has Shadow. Where's the one? Yeah, and Raising the Dead is Shadow. So, like, because it's poison instead of Shadow, none of the very potent undead combos work with Windcaller unless you add Shadow into him. Raising the Dead is huge for undead play, true, but it's Death and Shadow, so you can't run it with this guy. You can't run it with him. So it's kind of a bummer that a lot of the really potent Dread combos that work with Dead, that work with the undead family, are not playable with Windcaller Moors. So he does have a drawback in the sense that his combos are not as potent, which makes it so that if you play undead, the undead still has an advantage over him because of the Shadow, which if you think about it, is a nice balance play. You don't want him to be the be-all, end-all of undead heroes. If you're playing undead, you're playing Windcaller Moors. If you're playing undead, you can use the best combos for it and play strictly undead, or you can play Windcaller Moors and have a really good ability. It's a nice balance play. I am a fan of that. I will say that. I am a fan of that. But yeah, I think Windcaller Moors is a really strong hero. Then we have Overcharged Mari. Damage your target if this card is used for a combo payment. Move it into play instead of into your deck. That's nuts. That is nuts. Storm is going to have some insanely powerful swing turns. And if it's able to... We already saw some really good fun decks built with that Kriebel that put cards into play if you paid for them with combo. This is a guaranteed one. If you pay anything with Lightning, you get to put an Overcharged Mari into play. I'm not sure if you mentioned it because my internet is being bad, but Undead also has Twisted Necromancer, which is huge for Undead, and I think is Shadow. Twisted Necromancer. That's not a combo, is it? Is it also a new card? Because it's not in the database. Is it a new card that was revealed recently? Because, yeah, I mean, X1, X2 rotation, healing, move your last card undead into play. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, that's also really good for undead. And having a lot of the undead utilities in Shadow means that Windcaller Moors is not, like I said, the be-all, end-all for undead play. He's a good hero with his own ability and his own unique deck style, but if you still want to play undead, having Shadow is really good for playing the undead style. So there's not one hero to beat to have the best playstyle with undead. You could always run the scroll and have Shadow be in there, and the scroll is really good with undead because you discard an undead card for 5 damage. But Monstrosity is poison and dead. Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be ways to play Moors without utilizing how strong the shadow cards are for the undead family. That I think he's going to have his own fun deck that I cannot wait to find out. But Overcharge Mari, I just think is an insanely good card. Insanely good. Play it for a combo. It also comes into play. It doesn't go back to your deck, just comes right into play. And then the nature combo comes and removes your item. Dude, that nature combo. So happy about it, man. So happy. Colossi Storm Totem. Obviously only going to be running a Storm deck because it requires one of each of the elements. But then when you play a combo, you get to rotate one of your action buffs to its final corner and then restart it. That's nuts. That is nuts. Colossi Storm Totem. Mind you, there is ways to rotate relics with unaligned cards. I think it's a Kribble card that allows you to rotate a relic one step forward or whatever. But Colossi Storm Totem, it's not a powerful buff, but it's one of those buffs that, like, you're going to build a deck and it's going to meme the crap out of people. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you having to spend 3 cards to get it there, and then you can start memeing on people, but at the same time, your opponent could just remove it. New features of SL include 33-card deck plus Battleborn and Draga Hoarder. Right? You don't like this card at all compared to Stormborn Egg? Did I say memeing on people? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay, I am a memer and a dreamer. But yeah, Colossi Storm Totem. I like the card. I like the card design. The fact that it's a permanent one to stay out there. Stormborn Egg may be much more easy to pull off, but this is a more consistent value. I'd have to look. I don't even know what Stormborn Egg is. It's probably way up here, and I've forgotten all about it already. Where is Stormborn Egg? What does it do? I don't want to have to scroll through all this stuff. If someone could type what Stormborn Egg does. Oh, it's on the Artifact Insight? Okay. If someone could just tell me what it does, that'd be great. Oh, I might have found it. Okay. After one of your action buffs has entered play and applied its effect, you may rotate it 2 steps forward. Attack and lightning. Yeah, Stormborn Egg is definitely an easier one to even put into other orders. But you get to rotate it forward. This one rotates it to its final corners, triggering every corner past it, and then it restarts it. That's what I like about the Colossi Storm Totem. It does require a lot more to get off, but it gets you more bang for your buck. And in some cases, like I said, you could want your buffs to only rotate 2 and then be done. Or you could want them to rotate the final corner and restart and get major value out of it. It all depends on what deck you're playing. It's stupid, it's air. I'm fine with it being air. I don't know. But yeah, Colossi Storm Totem, I mean, there's ups and downs. There's ups and downs. There's replacements for it. Stormborn Egg works better in some scenarios. Colossi Storm Totem works better in others. That's the nice balance of them. They both fit into different play styles where you're not always going to use one over the other. I will go ahead and say that, yes, Stormborn Egg is going to be more viable to run because these games, until we figure out how the meta is balanced, these games never really last where you want to get maximum value. The most effective value is always going to be better. More efficient value is always going to be better than memeing value. So I do think that, yes, Stormborn Egg is better and more reliable. But I do think that if you can find a way Colossi Storm Totem in a specific deck, and it doesn't require a combo. Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, if you think about it this way, Stormborn Egg, you could have Stormborn Egg out, then lay Colossi Storm Totem, and Stormborn Egg will rotate Colossi Storm Totem to its water corner. Then all you got to do is put the water corner, and then it goes to its final corner. So, I mean, they could be used in conjunction with one another. You can do stuff like that. You could do stuff like that. But, I mean, I'll just use it with Cloud King Kashi. Both of them. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of fun ways you can play style with it. It all depends on how the deck is built and all this other fun stuff, so... The egg will rotate to the last corner right away. Well, it'll stay here, then it'll rotate twice, so it'll go to the water corner. And then you just gotta lay a water to rotate it there. So... There's ups and downs to all these cards. But like I said, it all depends... No, none of them are unique. The Stormborn Egg, unless they added onto it, the Stormborn Egg does not have unique. I'm looking at it right now. Does not have unique. Right there. Right there. Yeah, you could slap an egg onto an egg. Have both of them out there, rotate every buff 4 steps forward. Well, I mean, if you run Lightning in a mountain deck that is the 4-corner one, yeah, with Stormborn Egg, after you lay an action buff, rotate it 2 steps forward, then rotate it 2 steps forward again, and it goes to the 4th corner, it expires right away. Every action buff, if you have 2 of them out, if I'm reading it right, you can rotate every one of your action buffs all the way out and expire it right away. Unless they put unique on it, that's how it's going to work. It got sound. Yeah, it's because I'm reading chat. I apologize. That's the thing. I don't know if it would work like that. The way it's read is after one of your action buffs is entered play and applied its effects, you may rotate it rotation steps forward. So it'll come into play, have its effects be, it'll come into play, then both those buffs will trigger and rotate it 2 steps forward. You could rotate 4. Well, no, because if it's a 4-corner artifact, it'll rotate out because it'll come in on the 1st corner, then rotate to its 3rd corner, then rotate to the 4th, and then pass to the 5th. So every buff you lay will instantly expire. It'll do all 4 corners and then expire. And it will, I'll go ahead and just put this here. After one of your action buffs has entered play and applied its effects, so the 1st corner will apply its effects, then it'll rotate it 2 steps forward. So the 1st corner will trigger, then the 2nd and 3rd, and then if the way this is read, if it does trigger it again, it'll go 4th, then rotate out on all 4 corner cards. I'm not entirely sure if that's how it works, but that's how my mind is seeing it. No, I mean with one egg. He's saying if you play Totem into Stormborn, if it would trigger Totems first, then rotate it to its final. The way it works is it would trigger whichever one comes in the buff phase first. So if there's a totem first, then the totem will trigger to its final corner, and then restart it, and then the Stormborn egg. Or no, because you'd have to lay a combo with the totem. It's not when it comes to play. The combo is triggered with the totem. So the egg would trigger, bringing it to its third corner. Then the next turn it will go to the fourth corner. Then the Colossi Storm totem would not be able to do anything because it can't be triggered on its final corner. So what? Okay, I'm trying to. You can rotate 4 corner artifacts instantly. I don't think it will apply its first corner. So you play the totem into Stormborn. It will trigger totem's first corner, then rotate to its final. No. It wouldn't, because you would have to have the egg out first. The egg would have to be first. Then the totem would come. The totem would come into play, and then rotate just 2 steps forward. The lightning would be met because you would have to lay a card after the totem came into play for it to work, for the lightning to trigger. The lightning card has to be played after the totem is in play. So what would happen is it would come into play on the totem, on the lightning corner. The lightning corner would not trigger because you have to lay a card afterwards. But the Stormborn egg would then rotate it 2 steps forward to the water corner. It would rotate it to the water corner. And then you'd have to lay a water to trigger to the square corner. Yeah. So it's a weird explanation, I know. But having a lightning buffs effect does not trigger the clunky corner. You actually have to play a certain card. You have to play a certain card of that element to rotate on a clunky corner. It can't just be a buffs effect. So I do apologize for all the confusion. But yeah, I do want to know if Stormborn Egg works that way, because if it does, that's insane. That 2 of those eggs out means that you just get to rotate all your 4 corner buffs instantly and get their effects. That's insane. So set your health to 10. Move the 2 valid combo buffs from your discard or deck into play. Not both. That's amazing. That's amazing. Let's figure this out October 21st. We will. We'll do some deck experiments October 21st. We will definitely do that. But Sunder the Storm is insane. That's insane. Move up to 2 valid combo buffs from your deck or discard pile into play. Can be put in Moors. That's true. That's very true. You can play us in Moors. I don't know. I'd have to look and see what his... Oh my god, you could bring Chilling Winds in with him, couldn't you? You could bring in Chilling Winds. Before and after. You could play it twice. If you play it first, that's nuts. At least I think that's the one. You could also put Contamination into play. Crippling Toxin could be put into play with him. Poisonous Mist. Even Ritual of Sacrifice if it stays in. Sickly Touch. Skeletal Ward. Winds of Plague. That's the one I'm thinking of. Winds of Plague. Stormwall plus X. Use it with Terror Guard and Moors. If you Stormwall plus something like Rolling Thunder, it's a brutal kill combo. Yeah. That's 4 damage. You can't attack me. Or, yeah, you can't attack me. Then next turn, Fatal Step with the Moss Armor phase shift. Yeah, we all know. But yeah, I mean, there's so much. You can put Venom Veins back in. That's, yeah. Surrender to the Storm is such a good... Mind you, you set your health to 10, so you're taking a big risk. But at the same time, with Stormwall, you can't be attacked next turn. So, like, you have that one turn to kind of sit back and go, okay, what do I do now? Surrender to the Storm is powerful. It is powerful. I am all about that card. Sludge. While you'd ask discard the card as a combo, your target's leftmost buff is dormant. I'm okay with this. It's unique. It only works with 5 cards. But with how much you can manipulate the top card of your discard pile, this could be really strong. Yeah, Sludge with Puppet Master, Sludge with that one Gravity Bot that we just saw. This could be insanely strong. I like it. Sludge is okay. I don't think he's going to be an insane hero, but I think he's going to be a hero that is going to see a lot more play than people are thinking. But yeah, this card is really cool. Rough Scale Spy. Take 2 damage. If you have a combo buff in play, heal for 4, draw 2 cards. Once again, really trying to push out that combo buff playstyle of tech to really try and fill that archetype. Rough Scale Spy, I think, is okay. I think it's okay. It's not going to be the best in every situation, but it is a mechanical card that draws you cards, which is very unique all on its own. All the other card draw we were seeing was from time, and having this be mechanical, I think is pretty okay in my book. Benny posted a picture of him getting a Tetris Maximus when he could be revealing cards. Does he think he can just enjoy his free time? Yeah, I do. Reassembler 46B. To robot, 2 damage, you may remove one of your buffs to move 1 machine card from your discard pile to your hand. Finally, we're getting more cards that are like, hey, sacrifice your own buffs to get a benefit. And I think this is an amazing card. Remove one of your buffs to move a machine card from your discard to your hand. There's a lot of really fun machine cards to be played with machines and robots, and I think that Reassembler 46B is going to be really fun. It's going to be really fun. It's a graveyard recursion for a specific family in tech. And right there alone, I'm just like, wow, it's pretty legit. So yeah, I can't wait for this. You could also do this with the tuner, I believe. Does the tuner work off robots and machines? You could Tyrax tuner with this thing. So you could do another 4 damage and then remove another one of your buffs to move another machine card from your discard pile to your hand. That's really good. So yeah, Reassembler 46B is a great card, greatly designed. It's not 3 damage, which is fine. 2 damage is A-okay with Graveyard Recursion and how potent it is. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of this, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play with. Gyro Core Implant. This is the one you guys are talking about. As this enters play, heal yourself for 8. When you do 2 or more damage to yourself, gain 1 additional action. What? This is nuts. I forgot about this buff. This is going to be insane in the self-damage archetype. Mind you, it comes into play with a big heal, so it gives you that health to be able to self-sacrifice like that. But dealing 2 or more damage to yourself to gain an additional action, that's nuts. That is nuts. You deal so much damage to yourself in tech alone that playing with those robots that are like deal damage to your opponent, then damage yourself, damage your opponent, damage yourself. Even if you sacrifice your I can't think of the name. It's 0333. When it leaves play, you take 3 damage. That'll get you an additional action. Higgs into Turbo Sphere. Oh, Mud. Why? Why would you even put that on me? That sounds so stupid. You get like 6 actions in a turn. Oh my word, tech is going to be insane. Put this in a big note? Yeah. Well, I think doesn't the leaking generators only deal 1 damage to you, if I'm not mistaken. So that won't get you additional actions. But yeah, with Ambiguotrons, like, this is insane. This is so much fun. Bruiser is a free card now, unless they change Bruiser, yeah. They revealed that the new take 2 damage card with this, but I don't know if it'll be used. Oh, really? What's the new take 2 damage? Oh, the Rough Scale Spy. I see what you're saying. So essentially, with Rough Scale Spy and the Gyro Implant, you take 2 damage, heal for 4, draw 2 cards, and get an additional action. Yeah, Rough Scale Spy with this Gyro Core Implant is going to see a lot of play. I'll take 2 damage to essentially heal for 2, draw 2 cards, and get an additional action. It feels really weird. It feels like a buffed up Chimchu, but you have to set up the board properly for it. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And I believe these were the ones that Mud Turtle revealed yesterday. We have Shade Gorger Huntress. 3 damage if your last discarded card is Lunar. Discard the top 2 cards of the recipient's deck. Gotta love that Astral Mill, man. Gotta love that Astral Mill. And it's one that you can also run in Onyx if you want to run Onyx, because it's Lunar and Solar. It's Shade Gorger Huntress. It's insane. I don't know why I can discard two. I would have been fine with discarding the top one. But, oh, this is... Yeah, Astral Mill is going to be nuts. Astral Mill is going to be nuts. I would have also been fine with 2 damage on that. Like, there's so much good about that card. There's so much good about that card. Now, Dunestalker or Dunestar Tracker, defendability, healing, damage to your target, restart or rotate one of your beast buffs 1 step backwards. That's really interesting. We did get a new nature astral here that uses beasts that her astral, I believe, is gravity, if I'm not mistaken. So Dunestalker or Dunestar Tracker could be good. I really like the fact that you get to rotate your beast buffs backwards, because there's a lot of beast buffs that just do some really good damage. So with Dunestar Tracker with like a Corvid Conspiracy, it's like 5 damage plus 2 damage and 2 healing on the defendability. It's just, I like Dunestar Tracker. We'll have to see how viable it comes into play. Obviously, when you lay a beast card, and then you get to use the defendability the next turn. So I feel that it's a good addition to help Astro with its beast stuff, but it's really going to shine in the new Cross Order Mythic hero that we just got recently. Dunestar Tracker, I like it. I think it's good. Rotate Dawnstalker back or Prowler. Yeah, right? You could rotate some insanely powerful beast buffs in Astral alone to do that. But yeah, I like it. I like the Dunestar. Mephetic Spectre. Damage to your target. 2/2/1/0. That's just another poison undead buff. Instead of Drago Hoarder, we get a Mephetic Spectre. With it being poison and undead, that can be increased on the 0 part 2. Like, this is just, it's just a solid. People are saying it's really weak. Really? With it being poison, how much? Depends on what Widow looks like. I'll give you that. However, if you can, there's a lot of cards out there now, especially that one Umbron, or the one Kriebel that says all your poison buffs bypass damage reduction, so you won't just need Widow. And yes, zero can be increased, because 0 + 1 is 1. That this is one that can be increased. It is undead, and it is poison, which you can make poison bypass. So there's a lot of good things because this card can be increased and can be altered. That everyone looks at Widow right now as, yes, Widow's the all be all end all, because I mean, Widow comes into play as 2 damage. There's a lot of ways to manipulate it. It's bypassing as well. That Mephetic Spectre, it's a solid card. It's not the best card, but it's a solid card. It is just another poison damage card for undead that if you want to spike stuff into, you can. I think it's okay. The only other poison undead one we had that utilized things like this was the what was it? The Spectre, which was it? It was 1/1/1/3, if I'm not mistaken. Puppet Master, put Putrid Shade next turn, Mephetic on top, and play Twisted Necromancer, Pestilent. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really fun things you can do with this. I mean, even if you have a Starhorn Tusker, this is now a 3/3/2/1. Yeah, Pestilent Spectre was 1/1/3. So, like, the damage output was okay. You got a big spike on the last one, but the last one your opponent had time to react to. This one is just all around decent. I like it. I don't think it's terrible. But yeah, it all depends on what Spectral Widow's going to look like. Putrescent Shade is better. Tusker for undead. Yeah, I mean, it's an average card. Did I miss one? No, I didn't. Gluttonous Abomination. Once again, not a fan of this art. I don't think we've ever seen any generic villagers on any card ever. That these just, it feels really out of place. It feels really out of place to have these weird cartoony looking guys running in the foreground. I I don't know. I would have much rather had like Noxon running away from a creation, uh, anything to feel like this card actually fits in the universe. The art just it's just it just feels really really out of place in the art style. Even the Abomination looks more like it's like an Umbron head, which if it looked more like that Patchwork Monstrosity or whatever it's called, I would have liked it. It just looks really weird. It looks like the character from the new Addams Family movie. Kind of, yeah. But I mean, it's. Let's look at the card. So 3 healing, 2 damage to your target. You may rotate one of your target's action buffs 1 step forward without triggering its effects. It's a really good card with really bad art. That's the sad part. It's a really good card in my opinion with really bad art. It's an undead that can be utilized with Moors to rotate it forward however you want. It fits the dead. Can be brought back. Gets you healing. Always does 2 damage. Any of that can be increased, and then you get to manipulate your opponent's board without triggering its effect. You get to rotate things forward without triggering its effect. And in Moors, you can manipulate this so that you can trigger it when you want to trigger it. So there's a lot of good things happening in this card. It's just not the art. It's the art. Would suck to rotate a Prism Cannon. Would suck to rotate a lot of things. Hey, you know that buff that I can't remove with the oh god, the Elemental Crystal one, the Rock Biter? No, Rock. I can't think of the card name. I'm terrible with card names. I apologize. But yeah, the one you've been waiting for that you can't be removed. Okay, I'll rotate it. It doesn't do the 6 damage. Breaker. Yes. Mountain Breaker. Thank you, Mud Turtle. Yeah, rotate Mountain Breaker. I can't remove it, but I'll make it so it can't do anything. Yeah, Prism Cannon. Rotate that. Can't do anything. Your Dawnstalker. That's gone. Your Mage Ship. That's gone. Like this card is really good tech. Yeah. Play air with this and manipulate with Moors. Moors now becomes a very good control with Gluttonous Abomination. And guess what? With the Monstrosity, put Gluttonous Abomination under that, then the Gravedigger to bring Gluttonous Abomination back, and then lay it again, becomes a very strong controlling archetype. With Talia, this becomes a removal card. Yeah, there's a lot of really fun cases with this card. This card is a really potent and really strong utility card for the Undead family to have. It's just a shame that the artwork is not anywhere near up to par of what we've been seeing in the past few sets. It just looks really out of place. And also, now that I look, there's clearly room down here for tiny legs. It's tiny stump legs. I thought this was like coming out of the ground and its body was just in the ground. But no, it clearly shows there's legs. And it looks really cartoony. It looks really cartoony, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. It is not up to par with what we've been seeing before. And I really hope this is not a sign that we're getting artwork like this where it's just cartoony things. I really liked the fact that it started out with a cartoony style. Approved function over your art critique. Thank you. Hey, you know that card that has been OP since Uprising released? What was it called? Some cage or something? You could rotate. You might be right, Freston. You could easily rotate Cage of Oppression. You could do that. Yeah, we're getting a lot of really fun utility cards for rotating your opponent's board, which I think is great. I think that's a great way to manipulate the buff phases without just straight up removing them. Is rotating them and manipulating your opponent's board state, while still giving them the board. I think it's fine. I think it's a great way to manipulate and have control archetypes. Corrosive Demise. 8 damage. Move 2 cards from your deck. Move 2 cards from your deck to your hand. Move your deck to your discard pile. Oh. Yeah, this is the ultimate meme card. It's Grimus, I believe, mixed with another card. I believe the artwork is just Grimus mixed with another card, which, once again, they could have, for something like this, they could have given it a really cool art. And instead they just used 2 arts and put them together and was like, yeah, let's just reuse art assets. And they've been doing that a bit in this new set. They reused the Granite asset in the new Triple Lightning 4-cost combo. They reused an action cards art asset and just kind of enlarged it. Yeah, the art assets this time around, I'm not that big of a fan of them. I'm just, yeah, they had such a good art with Uprising and even Kindred that it feels like their art, on a few of these cards just kind of went to the wayside. But I mean, as long as the cards are not being delayed, I can be okay with some bad art. That's okay with me. But yeah, Corrosive Demise, this is definitely a meme card. Oh my word. It in a sense, it makes me want to run Poison and Shadow in an insect deck and just instantly mill my entire deck and have 2 cards to my hand that are just like bring stuff back. Like, I would love this. I would love this so much. This looks so much fun. This looks like such a meme card, and I'm in love with it. It is amazing. And then Valiant. At the start of your turn, if your deck is empty, deal 2 damage to your target. I mean, I think Valiant was made for Corrosive Demise. I think Valiant was made for Corrosive Demise. I just don't know. I mean, 2 damage, this can obviously be increased. So at the beginning of your turn, it does damage. Could be interesting. We could have a Granite type of deck in Dread. In Dread. We could easily have a Granite style deck in Dread. And I would love to build something like that. Every order has a hero with the same trait as Valeth, according to Benny, as I assume a measuring to anti-mill. Yeah, I think there was another order up there that I saw that had the same thing, and I was like, is this really viable? Lots of cards draw and these 2 cards. Which, yeah. But yeah, making a Valiant Corrosive Demise deck, that could be a lot of fun. That could be a lot of fun. I wonder if New Cassilia is this trait. That'd be sad. Oh, and then we have the Benchy and Mud Turtle. I did see this concept art. I thought this was hysterical. The ability, you crush dreams, look at your target's hand and discard 2 of their cards. This can only be played once per game. This looks hysterical to me. I love this card so much, and I wish something like this was actually in the game. But yeah, just the ability, I crush your dreams. I crush your dreams. And then you look at their hand and you discard 2 of their cards. It's like, yeah, I crush your dreams. Crush your dreams. That card is so amazing. That card is so amazing. I can't wait to use this with Shrine of Death. Use what? Use what with Shrine of Death? Do help me. Use what with Shrine of Death? Oh, the Mud Turtle hero? You could. You very well could. Alright, guys. I'm going to go into the cards that I'm going to reveal today. But in order to do that, I need to take like a 2-second break so that I can split this onto YouTube. And I can just put it onto YouTube for people who just want to see my cards and not go through me talking about all the new ones. So, yes, new reveal time. Give me like 5 seconds. 5 seconds. And we'll get into some new reveals. Do it. Post the link in Discord. Post it.